You have your authorization cards.
Right here.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the greatest films of the past 5 decades that flew under the radar.
I don't care what's fashionable or cool. It's all silly and it's all meaningless.
Number 50, Bottle Rocket.
That is Mr. Henry, and aside from owning the Lawn Wranglers, he is a very talented thief.
Then, why aren't you over there right now?
Because we're fugitives.
Wes Anderson has become well known in spite of his small budgets, in part due to his extravagantly symmetrical sets and talented arsenal of character actors. Nonetheless, there's not nearly enough love for the director's feature-length debut, Bottle Rocket. Starring brothers Luke and Owen Wilson, the 90s crime comedy isn't quite as polished as Anderson's more well-known works, but still contains many of the trademarks that make up his now signature style. Number one amongst them, his unique brand of quirky comedy.
What the hell are you wearing?
Yeah. It's a jumpsuit. Clay, look at this guy.
He looks like a rodeo clown.
He looks like a little banana. Where are you from anyway, man? I'm from around here.
The dialogue of Bottle Rocket is endlessly quotable, and its delivery pitch perfect, making for an unforgettably hilarious heist.
Man, how much bullets does this thing take?
Bob, look, I'm paying attention. God damn it! You're not paying attention if you're messing around with the gun. Now quit. Anthony, just keep the gun on the table.
I can't focus unless the gun is on the table.
Number 49, Sorry to Bother You.
I think you should rap. Rap, 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 rap.
Though a success at the box office, relative to budget, this genre bender still deserves more fanfare. Some may point to its audacious tone or bonkers third act as to why it hasn't become a classic, but it's those exact qualities that make it so excellent.
Today, YouTube sensation Cassius Green is here. You have 500 million people watch you get pegged in the noggin and get utterly humiliated. It was effing hilarious.
Boots Riley's debut feature is exhilarating in its originality. It's a singular vision with a searing social commentary trying to bother the status quo. Lakeith Stanfield is the perfect leading man for his character's literal transformations.
Muzzy muzzy.
Mr. Song, Cassius Green of Worry-Free Calling. Sorry to bother you. I'm calling about who is assembling your phone. Now, I know they're being made in China. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been following you since you were with Takashi. I cheered, literally, when I found out you acquired Tanrio, which is why I'm calling you and not Phonarola.
As Cash Green, he guides us through a story of class consciousness and some good old body horror. Far from a one-trick pony, the film's supporting cast is also superb, led by Tessa Thompson and Stephen Yeun.
All right, folks, let's meet back here at 3 p.m., okay? It's not that serious.
Okay. All right, cool.
It's like serious, but it's not that.
All right, sure, but I'm ready to.
Number 48, Buried.
I'm buried in a box. Buried in a box. I can't breathe in here.
Who knew Ryan Reynolds could be such a fantastic dramatic actor? Not many, apparently, because Buried never fell on enough eyes. Granted, its $19 million box office take easily made a profit on a $2 million budget, but is still largely absent from discussions of great thrillers.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Reynolds' excellent performance is heart-stopping as he tries to escape being buried alive, and the film's shot with an intense claustrophobic feel due to director Rodrigo Cortez's eye for darkly lit camera angles. It's a gripping thriller that's bound to become a cult classic.
Are you okay? Talk to me. Paul, are you okay?
Number 47, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. The boundless and unstoppable creativity of Terry Gilliam was set on full display in 1988's The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Laws of hydraulics, laws of social dynamics, laws of this, that, and the other. No place for three-legged cyclops in the South Seas.
This maverick director crafted an indescribable fantasy adventure that bombed at the box office, yet also captured the imaginations of many on home video. Tall tales of the Baron's exploits feature everything from a young Uma Thurman as Venus to an uncredited Robin Williams as the King of the Moon.
I'm free. I'm free at last. The body is dead. The body is dead. Long live the head. It's finished. Finito. Bye, body.
Meanwhile, the magical creatures and swashbuckling set pieces ensured that these adventures remain some of the most ambitiously artistic sentiment ever set free upon the silver screen.
Hello.
Number 46, 1 Hour Photo.
Family photos depict smiling faces. Births, weddings, holidays, children's birthday parties. People take pictures of the happy moments in their lives.
Robin Williams trades in his trademark offbeat warmth for a new brand of silent intensity in 1 Hour Photo.
I process these photos as if they were my own.
It is easily one of the creepiest performances of his career. Williams plays Cy Parrish, a lonely photo technician who becomes dangerously obsessed with a family whose pictures he develops. The film unfolds as a slow-burn psychological thriller, exploring themes of isolation, voyeurism, and the dark underbelly of everyday life.
Cy, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'll have these for you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Cy.
Bye.
Williams' portrayal of Cy is both unsettling and tragically human, showing a side of the beloved actor that few had seen before. Despite critical praise, 1 Hour Photo never quite reached the heights of Williams' more mainstream hits.
And if these pictures have anything important to say to future generations, it's this. I was here. I existed.
Number 45, The Nice Guys.
Who is it?
Messenger service. Hollow march home?
The 2010s saw a nearly annual streak of top-shelf work from Ryan Gosling. It wasn't just his stoic, brooding type. He also became a comedy mainstay thanks to projects like this buddy noir. Despite a warm reception all around, it underwhelmed at the box office. That means some unlucky folks missed out on its dry wit, hilarious physical comedy, and period hijinks.
All right. Super annoying.
Apple
She's
pie.
always mean to me.
That's good. This conversation is over.
I'm just talking.
And it's over.
Gosling shows off some next-level chemistry with Russell Crowe. Meanwhile, the rest of the film is bolstered by Margaret Qualley and a sturdy ensemble. Its central mystery is engaging, with some sneakily thoughtful and purposeful meat on its bones.
Yeah,
That's the point of the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say that.
What?
Well, you just lead me on this epic journey with the story, and 10 minutes later, the point is that there's two ways to look at something. You could just say that.
Simply put, it's just the ultimate comfort watch and undoubtedly a highlight of the decade.
At least you're drinking again.
Yeah. So great.
Number 44, Hard 8.
So you gave up big balls bets on the hard way to play Keno, huh? What's that? A sign of aging?
It passes the time.
Boogie Nights would eventually solidify director Paul Thomas Anderson as one of the greats, but his mastery of filmmaking was clear even earlier on in his feature debut, Hard 8. The crime film featured a small but stacked cast, even by today's standards, including John C. Reilly, Gwyneth Paltrow, Samuel L. Jackson, and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Hard 6, that's a hard 6, old timer. That's not bad for me. That's not bad for me, is it, sister? It is Sister Sledge.
Alongside Philip Baker Hall, they each give stellar performances, upholding the film's small-scale story of gambling and deceit with ease. Sure, it's not PTA's strongest film, but that's hardly saying much considering just how impressive the rest of his filmography has been. Hard 8 still accomplishes far more than the average film, and it's more than worth a watch.
I would like to understand how you go from being in the bar at the sand dunes with that guy to being in here. Where did this thing go wrong?
Because he thought that he was smart and I was stupid, and I'm not stupid.
Well, this is a pretty stupid situation, isn't it?
Number 43, Sunshine.
Hey, Chris, how close is this to full brightness?
Danny Boyle's Sunshine is a gripping sci-fi thriller that's equal parts awe-inspiring and nerve-wracking. Set in the not-too-distant future, it follows a crew of astronauts tasked with reigniting our solar system's dying sun.
But in truth, we already have the oxygen reserves to make it there and a quarter way back.
The film is a stunning visual spectacle, oscillating between almost poetic beauty and white-knuckled terror.
Moving down to investigate damaged area.
Okay, guys. Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Alex Garland's screenplay balances high-concept science with human struggle. The stellar ensemble cast, pun intended, delivers intense and shockingly grounded performances.
We do not have enough oxygen reserves to get us to our payload delivery point, let alone to survive the return journey.
So cancel the ticker tape parade.
The third act shift into psychological horror isn't for everyone, and to some, it feels off-putting. Still, Sunshine remains a visually and emotionally powerful film that deserves more love. Number 42, Joyride.
No bad ideas. Let's go. We could flash our titties and just hitchhike the whole way.
That's a bad idea.
We could take a rocket to space and then try to land in Korea. No customs in the atmosphere.
I feel like that's worse.
Adele Lim's hilarious directorial debut is maybe one of the best cases against the argument that comedy movies are dead in the 2020s. Featuring a seriously stacked ensemble cast, including Everything Everywhere All at Once as Stephanie Hsu, Emily in Paris as Ashley Park, as well as comedians Sherry Cola and Sabrina Wu, Joyride flew under the radar when it was first released to theaters in 2023.
What?
Your mouth is so big.
Oh my God. I know. But look, without teeth, not as big.
Why is mine so
I'm all
tiny?
underbite.
Okay.
A road trip movie with themes of Asian American identity and finding friendship in the unlikeliest of places, Joyride is all of the fun of comedies like The Hangover and Bridesmaids, with much less recognition.
Thanks to you, I can do something more meaningful. Start my own practice. Because I know that I'm brave enough now.
Hell yeah! She had a devil's threesome in China.
Number 41, Innerspace.
Jack, my name is Lieutenant Tuck Pendleton. I've been miniaturized. I was supposed to be injected into the body of a laboratory rabbit, and somehow I got inside you instead.
Never underestimate the power of home video. If that's not an 80s-focused sentence, then we don't know what is. Yet, it also accurately describes the groundswell of support Innerspace earned after its initial release in 1987. Joe Dante's mishmash of comedy, action, and science fiction bombed at the box office, but found new life at the video store.
Lydia, look, don't leave. You know you love me, huh?
It was here where Innerspace flourished, warming up VCRs around the globe with its tale of a tiny Dennis Quaid, a hilarious Martin Short, and all kinds of adventure. Dante's likable style is evident throughout Innerspace, while the rest of the cast, including Meg Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, and John Hora, all do great work here.
I'm in here, inside you, inside your body.
Oh, God. Somebody help me! I'm possessed!
Number 40, Good Time.
Excuse me. You Peter? Yes, I am. We're in the middle of... Hello?
Nick, what are you doing?
We're in the middle of something here. We're in the middle of an
get up.
exam. Hey,
That's
hey,
me
Nick,
about
Nick.
the stuff and the pan and the
Wait,
chicken.
wait, please.
How
Nick.
would you like it if I made you cry, huh? Would you like that?
No, I would not, but...
Hidden between Robert Pattinson's huge blockbusters are films like this caustic caper. Though popular with viewers and critics, it had a modest box office and wasn't a major awards player. Nevertheless, the Safdie brothers capture anxiety in a bottle here. It's packed with barely structured chaos and jolts of adrenaline. The film hums with unreal momentum, thanks to blistering editing and sharp music choice.
All right. I'm gonna drop you off at that White Castle. I gotta get something for my brother anyway.
There's a brain beneath the bluster as well. Good Time is no simple heist flick. It's an incisive portrait of several intersections of social tension. It's a hard-nosed character study that uses Pattinson's Connie to shade and contour the world around him. Number 39, I'm Not There.
Can I smoke in here?
You sound, for someone so widely known, a bit fatalistic.
I'm not fatalistic.
Inspired by the life of timeless performer Bob Dylan, this movie uses non-traditional techniques to achieve its distinctive feel. Many famous actors portray the different facets of Dylan, including Heath Ledger and Christian Bale, but it's Cate Blanchett who steals the show.
2 words. Raving queen and cosmic amphetamine brain.
I dig Shakespeare.
Receiving an Academy Award nomination for her stellar performance. It's a weird and intimidating film, but it's all for the sake of artistic merit, and in that sense, the film is flawless. Dylan even praised the movie and its actors in a Rolling Stone article, calling them incredible.
Sex are two things that really hang people up. And why that is, well, I'll never fully understand.
So at least it wasn't overlooked by its subject.
Now I've cried tonight like I cried the night before, and I'm least on the highest, but I dream about the door.
Number 38, Dark City.
Dr. Schreiber, I presume. It's you. Hey, come on. There's no way to greet a patient, doctor? If that's what you are, huh, doctor?
This movie, a science fiction classic as far as we're concerned, was destined for failure from the very beginning. For the theatrical release, New Line Cinema was concerned that audiences wouldn't understand the story of an amnesiac who was accused of murder, and therefore asked the director to integrate voiceover narration to the beginning of the movie. And really, that explains everything. This neo-noir, despite being refreshingly original and a visual masterpiece, did not sit well with audiences, and bombed at the box office.
I knew you'd come eventually. Don't you think it's about time you started giving me some answers? Yes. Yes, of course.
The mysteries of Dark City, however, are well worth uncovering.
Stop talking.
There's no need for this. There's no escape.
The city's ours. We made it. What are you talking about?
We fashioned this city on stolen memories. Different eras, different pasts, all rolled into one.
Number 37, Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Before you knew it, we signed with a major label and put out our first single, Karate Guy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I like to kick it. I'm a karate guy.
Whether you know them from Saturday Night Live or The Lego Movie, The Lonely Island are comedy veterans. In 2016, the music trio assembled this mockumentary about Connor For Real and the Style Boys. While it has since amassed a cult fan base, it flopped at the box office. What a shame that is for viewers.
What happened out there? What happened to the trick?
Connor, don't worry, nobody saw anything.
I wish they had seen something. Now there's 10,000 people that think I got no dick.
The romp could be enjoyed as a straight, silly hangout watch or a clever farce of vapid pop culture and celebrity. Either way, it's a delight loaded with cameos and a catchy soundtrack to boot.
She was a freaky kind of girl, kept up on current events from all around the world.
All in all, it's the rare broad comedy that lands more than it misses.
And that's Connor For Real. Isn't that right, Maximus, too?
It sure is, Connor.
Number 36, Midnight Run.
We'd really like to have a word with you.
Oh, yeah, what about it?
It involves big cash, a lot of prizes.
Director Martin Brest enjoyed an enviable run of hits throughout the 1980s, including the OG Beverly Hills Cop. That movie remains insanely quotable, as does Brest's 1988 feature, the incredibly awesome Midnight Run.
Can I have my money first?
Of course. What do you think, I'm gonna try to stiff you?
Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin possess magnificent chemistry together as a pair who are dodging the law, the mob, and everything in between, as they struggle not to kill each other.
These things go down, they go. It's too big. It's too big. It can't go up.
De Niro's bounty hunter and Grodin's mobbed-up money man are at the focus of a film with plenty of action and thrills to spare. Midnight Run had the difficult task of balancing action, drama, and comedy in an entertaining way, but Brest and his team absolutely rose to the occasion. Number 35, Bottoms.
Just drive! Josie, go! Drive!
If you like David Fincher's Fight Club and are on the hunt for more movies where people start an underground group where they can beat the snot out of each other for nefarious reasons, look no further than this 2023 comedy. Director Emma Seligman's follow-up to the equally underrated Sheba Baby sees her re-team with rising star Rachel Sennett for a modern take on the teen comedy.
I just wanted to say I'm loving what I'm hearing about the club. It seems so supportive of women, especially the hot ones.
Yeah, well, all women are hot to me.
Sennett plays PJ alongside Iowa Debary, who both come up with a bright idea to create a fight club in the hopes that they can meet hot cheerleaders from their school. The results are hilarious and build up to a climax that you truly have to see to believe. Number 34, Heavenly Creatures.
We have an extra part of our brain,
which can appreciate the fourth world. Only about 10 people have it. When we die, we will go to the fourth world.
Nowadays, Peter Jackson is best known for bringing J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy world to the big screen with the Lord of the Rings film series. But before Fellowship of the Ring, Jackson was a small New Zealand filmmaker making schlocky horror films such as Bad Taste and Braindead, aka Dead Alive. Jackson was considering giving up when his partner and frequent collaborator, screenwriter Fran Walsh, brought him a new idea. That idea was the hauntingly beautiful crime drama Heavenly Creatures.
I'm very glad because the Humes sympathize with me. And it is nice to feel that adults realize what mother is. Dr. Hume is going to do something about it, I think.
The latter was released in 1994 and starred actresses Kate Winslet and Melanie Lynskey in early roles. An atypical approach to the true crime genre, the film tells its story from the perspective of two teenage girls whose unique connection with each other grows into an all-out obsession. With fantasy elements that hint at Jackson's future as a director, Heavenly Creatures is a masterfully crafted tragedy about the dangers of oppression and isolating relationships.
We realize why Deborah and I have such extraordinary telepathy, and why people treat us and look at us the way they do. It is because we are mad! We are both stark raving mad!
Number 33, Moon.
3 years is a long haul, you know, it's way too long. I'm talking to myself on a regular basis, so, time to go home, you know what I mean?
Another movie with another amazing performance by Sam Rockwell, Moon is a grossly underrated science fiction film that attempts to tackle heavy themes and questions while looking great in the process.
Sam, you suffered a slight concussion in the crash and have incurred minor injuries, but all in all, the prognosis is good. I'm happy to see you again.
The film follows an astronaut as he faces a crisis after being alone for 3 years on the moon. It's a dark and lonely picture filled with elegant, spacious cinematography, but it's Rockwell's Oscar-snubbed performance that pulls at our heartstrings.
90 seconds. Stop. You ever been out this far? No.
Signal failure.
Never have.
It could be considered the next great sci-fi experience, if people would actually watch it.
I asked her if she wanted to go get like an ice cream cone or something dorky like that. She said, let's get a drink. I said, okay. What do you...
Number 32, Manhunter. It's perhaps a common misconception that 1991's The Silence of the Lambs served as a cinematic debut for one Dr. Hannibal Lecter. The Thomas Harris character actually showed up 5 years earlier, portrayed by Brian Cox for Michael Mann's underrated Manhunter.
I know that I'm not smarter than you. Then how did you catch me, Will? You had disadvantages. What disadvantages? You're insane.
The film, somewhat incredulously, bombed at the box office, though it's largely seen today as a forward-thinking exercise in style from the ever-reliable Mann. Manhunter focused on forensic science during an era where old-fashioned police work was still largely seen as the only way to solve crimes.
It's not over yet.
Oh, for Christ's sake, it's a foregone conclusion. It's 11:30 p.m. The full moon is happening tonight. Give it up. Forget this month, it's too damn late.
Meanwhile, Cox's performance as Lecter/Lector is understated and menacing. The bold colors and outstanding cinematography also go a long way into making Manhunter a film that, in our opinion, is a must-see. Number 31, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
Pull the gun crews to deck. Rig man ropes over the stern and pull the boats in.
Fresh off his turn as Maximus in Gladiator, Russell Crowe donned a blonde wig for his next period film.
Sail trimmers to their station! Get the sails over, lads! She's over the
Master and Commander is a nautical epic based on the award-winning book series about Napoleonic war hero Jack Aubrey. Crowe's Aubrey is a brilliant yet headstrong leader, supported by his best friend, doctor, and naturalist Dr. Stephen Maturin. The film's attention to historical detail is unparalleled. From the creak of wooden decks to the thundering cannons, viewers are immersed in the Napoleonic Wars. The film won widespread critical acclaim, netting numerous Oscar nominations.
My dear doctor, I've been amongst and around wounds all my life.
Oh, good then. Put your hand on my belly. Pressing firmly when I give the word.
The audience wasn't huge, as the film was overshadowed by 2003's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
It was a bloody pirate, a scallywag.
Number 30, Palm Springs.
This is kind of a safe house for me. The family who lives here is out of town. I don't know when they're coming back, but it's not today.
Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned time loop rom-com? Starring comedic superstars Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti, this film seemed to have all the ingredients of a super smash hit. But while it's developed a cult fan base since its release, Palm Springs hasn't received its proper dues.
I drove all the way back home to Austin, and I still woke up here.
That's how it works. And one time I smoked a bunch of crystal and made it all the way to Equatorial Guinea.
While we can't say for sure, there's an argument to be made that having been dropped on Hulu at the height of COVID likely didn't do the film any favors, reception-wise. But nevertheless, if you've yet to give it a watch, you'll be delighted by the fun, unique storyline, as well as the chemistry of our two leads.
And remember that night when we saw the dinosaurs? You said it yourself, in order to really know a person, you have to see the entire package, the good and the bad. And I've seen your package, and it is excellent, Sarah. Ampersand, you're my favorite person that I've ever met.
Number 29, In Bruges. To put it bluntly, In Bruges is hands down one of the smartest, deftest comedies ever made.
I'm not being funny, we can't stay here.
We've got to stay here until he rings.
Well, what if he doesn't ring for 2 weeks?
Then we stay here for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks?
Written and directed by Martin McDonagh, the film follows hitmen Ray and Ken, played by Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
We are doing what I want to do.
Ray botched a job, so they're hiding out in the picturesque Belgian town of Bruges. The duo's chemistry is electric, with Farrell's guilt-ridden rookie clashing perfectly against Gleason's weary veteran. The gorgeous medieval backdrop contrasts sharply with the film's bloody, morally complex narrative. With witty dialogue, poignant themes of redemption, and a career-defining turn from Farrell, In Bruges was a critical powerhouse.
Can I be going back, please? What am I gonna do, Ken? What am I gonna do?
Just keep moving.
It received only a limited release in the US, but its audience mainly grew thanks to DVD sales and, eventually, streaming.
The little boy. That's right, Ray. The little boy.
Number 28, A Most Violent Year.
I'll take care of it.
What does that mean when you say you'll take care of it? It's not a brick through a car window, or another of the cute little warnings over the past few years. This is your kid playing with a loaded gun.
J.C. Chandor's compelling crime drama had a muted release in 2014. Since then, it still hasn't quite made a splash in the mass consciousness. This hidden gem boasts luscious cinematography and production design, which build its suffocating aura. Its screenplay is rich with intriguing politics and angles that breathe new life into the gangster genre.
And I know what these guys want to be doing. But that doesn't make you any safer. Because then they'll come back at us with everything they have.
The MVPs, though, are its 2 stars. As fuel tycoon Abel Morales, Oscar Isaac is nothing short of magnetic. His quiet charm bubbles with a hidden tension, like a cross of George Clooney and old-school Al Pacino.
Trust me. Trust me. I'm not. Leanne, that's enough.
Jessica Chastain, as usual, is a force of nature. 2014 was a career year for the Oscar winner, between her work here and her key role as Murph in Interstellar. Number 27, True Romance.
I think what you did
What?
I think what you did
What?
was so romantic.
Just a year after breaking onto the scene with Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino teamed up with Top Gun director Tony Scott for this darkly comedic crime film. Titled True Romance, the film follows the strange plot of an Elvis fanatic compelled to kill by the ghost of the king himself.
As long as you're not at the scene of the crime, smoking gun in your hand, you get away with it.
It's just as fun as it sounds, and as its title implies, has an added dash of romance between lead actors Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. While it's true some of its dialogue may not fly in the modern day, its cinematic style is the perfect blend of Tarantino and Scott's best qualities. There will never be anything else like it.
It sounds like a movie. Clarence and Alabama go to Cancun, don't you think?
My movie done, you get top billing.
Number 26, Near Dark. A great merger of Western and vampire films, Near Dark perfectly blends the two genres together, but never loses the unique touch that makes each one memorable.
Where are we going?
You'll see.
I don't like surprises, Carol.
The movie is directed by Kathryn Bigelow, now a big-name A-lister, and received favorable reviews and later a cult following. However, it was released too soon after more successful vampire movies, being overshadowed by their success. Even so, as a young man becomes involved with a group of nomadic vampires, the audience is treated to a tour de force of beautifully shot sequences, lots of blood, and even some genuine emotion.
There you stood by the side of that road, and I just knew you were trouble.
You were right.
Number 25, Best in Show.
Cookie and I work as a team. Although I do nothing, she does all the work with Winky.
It took the comedic brilliance of Christopher Guest to figure out how to make a dog show the setting of one of America's greatest comedy films.
And he's saying, I'm ready. That's when you know he's ready for a show. Because he says, I'm ready. I'm ready. See, that and I know he's ready.
Shot in a mockumentary style, Best in Show follows a quirky and absurd ensemble of dog enthusiasts as they prepare for the prestigious Mayflower Kennel Club dog show.
God loves a terrier. Yes, he does. God loves a terrier. That's because small, sturdy, bright, and true, they give their love to you.
From neurotic yuppies to eccentric trainers, the characters are as lovable as they are ridiculous. The huge ensemble is led by future Schitt's Creek stars Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
You! Hey, Winky, look at this. You! Yes.
That's it. He's a natural. He's just so natural. And look at his face. Could he be sweeter or more loving? And the group is all about attitude.
While comedy fans adore it, Best in Show was a quiet intellectual quirk fest lost in an era of in-your-face humor.
Backyard, front yard, or the farm.
Number 24, Thief. Notable for being director Michael Mann's major film directorial debut, Thief is just as powerful and exciting as any of his other movies.
You don't do nothing. We point you to a score. When we say it's there, it's there. They're all laid out scores.
Adapted from a novel written by real thief John Saybold, it tells the story of a thief performing a job for the mafia.
You do what I say. I run you. There is no discussion. I want you work until you are burned out, you are busted, or you're dead. You'll get it.
The film stars James Caan, and like usual, he is terrific in the role, embodying a professional thief perfectly. Thief is heart-stopping at its best moments, proving to be an exciting and intelligent film that broke boundaries of what a thriller could accomplish. Number 23, Road to Perdition.
Excuse me, I have urgent business with these young gentlemen.
Tom Hanks has made an entire career out of being a relatable everyman. You can literally count the movies where he plays a bad guy on one hand. One of those films was 2002's Road to Perdition.
You are not to speak of this to anyone. You understand? Not to anyone.
It's a haunting crime drama about a murderous father seeking vengeance while accompanied by his young son. Paul Newman shines as Hanks' conflicted boss and father figure in one of his final roles.
Mistakes. You know, we all make them, God knows.
Jude Law's sadistic assassin chills the bone every time he appears on screen. The film's cinematography paints every frame like a somber masterpiece, from rain-soaked streets to the iconic final showdown on a misty beach. Smile. It's a gripping tale of loyalty, legacy, and the cost of redemption.
Give me the gun, Michael. Come on. Give me the gun.
Number 22, Kingpin.
Would you be willing to hold on to this till after the tournament?
Come on, what are we gonna do with the rubber hand?
The ring.
A classic comedy directed by the Farrelly brothers, Kingpin is a largely ignored entry on their filmography, despite the fact that it's just as hilarious as any of their other movies. The story follows Roy, a skilled bowler, and Ishmael, an Amish man, who go to compete in a bowling tournament to save Ishmael's land. The movie's cast is fantastic, including Woody Harrelson and an always hilarious scene-stealing Bill Murray.
What do we do? Sometimes a bowler just has to face the music.
And that bowler is you, right?
It also features the staple raunchy Farley humor that made the brothers so famous. It truly is an uproarious film that deserves far more attention.
Have you been drinking again?
I don't puke when I drink. Puke when I don't.
Number 21, Something Wild. Action comedies are a winning combination, and this is certainly the case with Something Wild, an underrated gem starring the always fantastic Jeff Daniels as a man who is taken on an adventure by a free-spirited woman.
I don't know how this happened. This is just, I got a lot of things on my mind, business things, and I simply forgot.
While it certainly isn't as popular as it deserves to be due to its quirkiness, it has obtained a cult following and has been hailed as one of Daniels' funniest, most overlooked roles.
Do you have a hangover?
Yes, I have a hangover.
Well, then this is the stuff that you drink for a hangover. Come on, drink it, please.
It also has plenty of tonal shifts to keep the movie interesting, and it makes for one unpredictable ride.
Look, tomorrow you're gonna wake up, you're still gonna beat Charlie Driggs, And this'll all be over and done with. So why don't we enjoy it while we can?
Number 20, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
I just know you're gonna fail.
What are you talking about, Edith?
What about my dreams?
Edith, I told you I can't build you a candy house. It will fall down. The sun will melt the candy. It won't work.
It will if it never rains. Dewey, you have got to give up your dream.
2 years after the Johnny Cash biopic Walk the Line won an Oscar, producer-co-writer Judd Apatow came out with an incredible spoof of it. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story is a sharp and absurd parody that aims at every music biopic trope imaginable. Following the life of fictional rock legend Dewey Cox, the film skewers everything from Walk the Line to Ray.
Nobody can follow Elvis.
Wait, did you say Elvis?
With its outrageous humor, surprisingly catchy songs, and an all-star cast of comedic heavyweights, it should have been a runaway hit. Yet, despite rave reviews, it bombed at the box office. Maybe it was ahead of its time, or maybe audiences weren't ready for its level of meta humor. Either way, Walk Hard has become a cult classic.
The purple moon is rising, I can see it.
Number 19, Synecdoche, New York.
Mommy, is something wrong with my poop?
No, honey, it's just green.
I'll try it yourself.
You probably ate something green.
Synecdoche, New York is the kind of art house film that gets under your skin and refuses to leave. Written and directed by Charlie Kaufman, it follows theater director Caden Cattard, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Do you get high, my friend?
Sometimes.
Do you want to nap with me in my car?
I get kind of, something when I'm stoned.
When Cattard's life falls apart, he finds solace in the theater. He attempts to recreate his entire life inside a massive warehouse for a never-ending play.
Daddy can't play now, honey.
Daddy doesn't live with us anymore, baby. He had to go find himself.
Hey, you had this moment?
Yeah.
They still feel a little tight in the toe. But maybe...
Have an argument. You're having an argument. Have it.
It's an intricate, surreal exploration of mortality, identity, and the futility of artistic ambition. While critics praised its ambition, the film's layered narrative and bleak tone left mainstream audiences puzzled. But for those who connect with its themes, Synecdoche, New York is a profound, almost overwhelming experience.
I don't want to do this play now. I have an idea. I think.
Number 18, The Harder They Fall.
If I had my way, you'd be right up under the jail next to Rufus. But you cut yourself a deal while not wearing a badge instead, huh?
You got your reasons you want Rufus gone, and I got mine. Ain't the enemy of my enemy my friend?
While there are certainly still westerns made in abundance these days, it's rare to receive one that feels this fresh. While one could chalk that up to the predominantly black cast, something that is rather unique in the genre, The Harder They Fall stands as a fantastic modern entry into the western canon, thanks in part to its all-star ensemble, quippy screenplay, and flashy direction by first-time feature director James Samuel.
Killer.
Samuel, who has made a name for himself as a musician under the name The Bullets, brings a sense of musicality to this bombastic film. It's sure to go down as a classic of the genre, once more people see it, that is.
So being as we're in possession of that money, let me dictate terms of engagement.
Number 17, Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai.
I've always given you my respect.
So that's why you got that big thing gun to my head?
Forgive me. I don't mean you no disrespect.
Don't let the goofy title fool you. The movie is not actually about a spectral pooch. Ghost Dog is a hitman for the mob who adheres to the ancient samurai code in his proceedings and is portrayed perfectly by Forrest Whitaker in one of his most underrated roles.
You know, in ancient cultures, bears were considered equal with men.
This ain't no ancient culture here, mister.
Sometimes it is.
The movie is refreshingly unique, as it organically blends the completely differing styles of gangster and samurai films, and it was even nominated for various prestigious accolades, including an Independent Spirit Award for Best Feature. Despite all this, we bet there's a good chance you've never even heard of it.
I'm your retainer. I don't mean you no disrespect. Besides, I don't want to put too many holes in you.
Number 16, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
No, I didn't kill him. He wanted in. Why? I didn't want him to come in on it. He insisted. I said, you gotta stay at home, but he doesn't listen. He's such a stupid son of a bitch.
An overlooked classic in the crime comedy genre, this movie centers on a thief who is posing as an actor in Hollywood that gets caught in the middle of a murder investigation.
I didn't. I believe that I did not.
What do you mean? You said you don't remember.
Well, that's my point. If I don't remember because I was that drunk, then how could I have ever gotten it up? And I know that this is outrageous and it's not normal. I'm not pretending that I'm normal. I just chickened out.
Co-stars Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer share terrific chemistry, and the movie features one of Downey Jr.'s most overlooked roles, as he is truly hilarious.
Here we all are. Ike, Mike, and Mustard.
What the hell does that mean?
The comedy is sharp, and the action is gritty. With the movie blending so many genres together, it becomes a biting satire on classic, hard-edged stories.
What happened that he had to kill her, huh?
Harry, will you put a sock in it?
I'm asking a question.
No, I'm saying, yeah, if you ask questions, then it seems like we don't know anything, like we're fishing.
Okay.
Number 15, Edge of Tomorrow.
Arrest this man.
What?
Outside of his exploits as Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise flicks in the 2010s were hit or miss. The most beloved of the batch might just be this fun time looper. With a lukewarm box office despite positive reviews, fans have been calling for a follow-up. It's not hard to see why.
They know we're coming on the beach tomorrow. It's a slaughter, isn't it?
How do you know this?
The looping format is simple but exciting, unpredictable, and a breeze to watch. It's an action movie that feels more like gaming than most actual game adaptations. It plays off of that medium's unique dynamic with death without losing its stakes. Cruise is his ever-reliable self, and Emily Blunt becomes a bona fide action hero.
I forgot to unhook the trailer.
She elevates her character above the material's limits and steals the show. Not to mention, the aliens are just really cool. Number 14, Red Rock West.
1978. Got anything smaller?
Not today.
This movie is a classic noir with Nicolas Cage in the leading role, and he was actually quite good in it. The story follows Cage's character, who is mistaken for the hitman that another man hired to kill his wife, and as such, unpredictable chaos ensues.
Yeah. What should I do?
If I were you, I'd get a divorce.
Everybody involved in the film is fantastic, but if you've never heard of it, we don't blame you, as it was sent direct to video even after an enthusiastic response at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Hey, cowboy. Who's got the gun? Cowboy?
Number 13, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. This movie was written and directed by Wes Anderson and features all of his trademark quirkiness, eccentricity, and originality, which make for a fun, if awkward time.
Bravo! What fun!
Steve, I'd like to introduce you to Antonia Cook. She's the new head of the Film Society.
You must be so excited.
I hope so. You think it went okay?
It's filled with terrific performances by an all-star cast, most notably Bill Murray as Steve, a man who sets out to find the shark that killed his friend.
So what happened, in your opinion?
What are you talking about?
Well, don't you think the public perception of your work has significantly altered in the last 5 years?
That's your first question? I thought this was supposed to be a puff piece.
While West is becoming more popular today, this movie proved too strange for audiences, receiving mixed reviews and bombing with a box office performance of only $35 million.
Please don't make fun of me. I just wanted to flirt with you.
Number 12, After Hours.
Good. Yeah, you got it. Another week, you have it down.
It's temporary anyway. I said it's temporary anyway. I do not intend to be stuck doing this for the rest of my life.
When we say comedy, the gritty Martin Scorsese is probably not the first person to pop into your head, but his funny bone shines in this film about a man who runs into misadventures as he makes his way home.
Hey, it's me. I did it. I quit my job.
What do you want me to do about it?
Scorsese had successfully dabbled in comedy prior to this with The King of Comedy, but After Hours' outrageous, fun, and relatively simple premise makes it a true gem. Scorsese even won himself the Best Director award at the Cannes Film Festival, and the movie remains darkly hilarious, but sadly overlooked to this day.
Can I get you something?
I have 97 cents.
It's not very much, is it?
Number 11, Pig.
What'd they do?
Nothing. Just a little misunderstanding we gotta get sorted out.
They took my pig.
What kind of pig?
It's a truffle pig.
Nicolas Cage has played every role under the sun. Hell, he's even played himself. But it's this 2021 drama where he tackles the character of a humble truffle hunter that ranks among the actor's greatest performances. Michael Sarnowski's directorial debut sees Cage play Rob Field, whose treasured truffle pig is stolen from him in the middle of the night, which sets Field out on a journey to find the thief.
You live your life for them, and they don't even see you. You don't even see yourself. We don't get a lot of things to really care about.
While this may sound like it would result in a John Wick-esque revenge story, Sarnowski's approach to the material is extremely tender and meditative, but it's a film that's rewarding for those with patience.
I remember every meal I ever cooked. I remember every person I ever served.
Number 10, Looper. It's Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt co-starring in a time travel movie. What more could you want? The pair play the same character, Joe, as his future self is sent back through time to be assassinated by his younger self. And the movie is just as awesome as that synopsis sounds.
My memory's cloudy. It's a cloud. Because my memories aren't really memories. They're just one possible eventuality now.
The film has a fantastic story with great characters, and the production design and cinematography are mesmerizing. It deserves to be hailed as a science fiction classic, but sadly, very few people seem to remember it even exists.
And the path was a circle. Round and round. So I changed it.
Number 9, Miller's Crossing.
How'd you know it was me?
You're the only one I know who'd knock and then break in.
Your other friends wouldn't break in, huh?
My other friends wanted to kill me, so they wouldn't knock.
Everyone loves the Coen Brothers, so why doesn't everybody love this movie? The most anyone knows about it is the famous forest scene, but there's so much more in the story of a man who plays both sides of a gangster family rivalry.
I want everybody to be friends. I do this. You're friends with Lazar, he's friends with you, you're friends with me. All you gotta do to show you're a friend is give me Bernie Bun. You know it's the right thing anyway.
It features the signature Coen intensity, and the performances are all outstanding. The film was released before the brothers became popular, and consequently, was quickly forgotten. But that's not to say this outing isn't just as fantastic as their other efforts.
Leo says if you're smart, you'll sit this one out. Not that he cares one way or the other. Leo says if you're on the wrong side, you take your chances like anybody else. Leo says he gives no special favors, that's all.
Number 8, Take Shelter.
While rescue workers made several attempts to reach the family, Walter Jacobs' wife and brother-in-law died.
If he didn't do anything,
Another thriller, This story about a man who builds a shelter to protect his family from a storm and his own paranoia was praised by critics, but landed with an unwarranted thud with audiences. It only made $3 million at the box office, failing to make back its budget, and has since seemingly disappeared from existence.
You know the expenses we have coming up. You want to waste money on a stupid tornado shelter?
I'm doing it for us. I know you don't understand.
You're right, I don't understand! I don't understand half the stuff you've been doing lately!
All this despite Michael Shannon's hauntingly beautiful performance and the sheer dread that the film conveys. Maybe it proved too dark for viewers, but either way, Take Shelter deserves more of them.
I'm sorry.
Maybe there's no storm outside.
Number 7, Blowout.
God, the scream is terrible. What cat did you strangle to get that?
One of Brian De Palma's masterpieces, Blowout sees the director at the top of his game and features an A-list cast, including the outstanding John Travolta and John Lithgow.
You know, the trains never come in on time. They're always running late here, and they're notorious, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I bet you at least got 30 minutes.
Negative word of mouth spread after the movie premiere due to its dreary story about a sound effects technician who discovered audio evidence of an assassination. As such, it performed poorly at the box office and never reached an audience. The ending only adds to the film's depravity and makes for an emotional yet unforgettable movie experience. Number 6, Under the Silver Lake.
In 1978, a Silver Lake resident discovered a can of film in his basement. In the movie, a young man holds a note in front of the camera.
Thanks to bumpy distribution, this surreal fever dream never really had its time in the sun, and once actually released, it polarized critics and audiences alike. Director David Robert Mitchell weaves a tangled web of sex, conspiracy, and paranoia.
Hidden messages in old pop songs?
Movies, television shows, everything you know.
Why?
That's pop culture, isn't it? Floats away like tissue paper.
In the middle of it is Sam, Andrew Garfield's questionable hero. Some see it as the same strain as Inherent Vice and The Big Lebowski. It's a big, messy mystery that's meant to be a big mess. The search for answers is itself the point. Other writers have a deeper reading, from a feminist lens. It's one where Sam's disaffected male gaze and savior fantasies are an interrogation of noir and entertainment. Altogether, it's an ambitious piece that deserves a second look.
For now, the answers remain hidden deep below the surface, under the Silver Lake. Under the Silver Lake.
Number 5, They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
If this movie were released today, with the horror-comedy hybrid genre booming, it would definitely be more popular. The film follows Roddy Piper's character, yes, that Roddy Piper, as he discovers a pair of sunglasses that let him see the truth about consumerism, advertising, and that the ruling class are concealed aliens.
Near the entrance. Has a shotgun. White male, 30s, long hair.
Mama don't like tattletale.
Not only is the movie scary and fantastically absurd, it also provides thoughtful commentary on the rich, the economic status of America, and the influence of mass media on the general population. Not bad for a silly sci-fi movie starring a wrestler.
I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can.
Not this year.
Number 4, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
I've already robbed a railroad train. I'm sitting in a rocking chair chatting with none other than Jesse James.
A unique title for a unique movie, it lets the audience know right away what they're getting into.
Jesse mentioned that me and Cummins were in cahoots.
Is that so?
Oh, dear. I went on and said too much, have I?
Which is a terrific story leading up to the titular historic killing of Jesse James by Robert Ford. Starring Brad Pitt and Casey Affleck, respectively, they become their characters through hypnotic performances.
Oh, excuse me. See, I chased right on in and interrupted you.
and the movie is completed by memorably beautiful and desolate cinematography. It deserves a spot in the pantheon of great westerns, but sadly, it bombed at the box office and has failed to make an impression. Number 3, A Simple Plan.
Please. You know I need that money! Please, Lou, leave him alone. No, listen to me! I need it tomorrow, you know. They're gonna take my truck!
Easily the most underrated film of the decade, A Simple Plan has an A-list cast and the fantastic Sam Raimi behind the camera. The flick follows Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton as brothers who discover over $4 million in cash and begin to doubt each other in their plan to keep it secret.
See, if we cover it up, it's just gonna be worse anyhow. So, you know, I'm just
Go get in the car.
I'm just gonna go and pull him out. You know, we're just gonna tell everybody the truth.
The story plays out intensely and unpredictably, and the performances are all mesmerizing, with each character reaching their breaking point in realistic fashion. It was even nominated for 2 Academy Awards, but sadly, never got a fraction of the audience it should have.
Heck, I'm gonna be happy now, right? Sure you are. We all are. Yeah, that's right, we all are.
Number 2, Prisoners.
He stays in custody until my daughter's found, right? Right?
We have a 48-hour hold on. It ends tomorrow unless we bring charges.
Well, charge him or something. Charge him.
Easily one of the most overlooked movies of the decade, Prisoners is a fantastic film that showcases the talents of everyone involved. It's about 2 young girls who are kidnapped in Pennsylvania, and while it sounds simple enough, it is a dark, complex, and emotional story that hits many unpredictable beats. The performances are outstanding, specifically those by Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, and the movie was nominated for an Oscar for its breathtaking cinematography. It's a work of art that deserves all the recognition it can get.
You want me to get in there, you're gonna have to shoot me. I'm not gonna get in there just because you asked.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Zodiac.
What's on the crime beat? Janice in Date Book left the fondue party before everyone got naked. That's a crime.
Hollywood is rife with films based on a true story, but few filmmakers were as brave or speculative as David Fincher in his film, Zodiac.
Jesus Christ, who's got school buses? Department of Transportation?
School board.
All right. I'm gonna need elimination prints from your staff. Is anyone here that didn't touch this letter?
The film is a deep dive into the real-life Zodiac killer case, following a pair of journalists and a detective as they try to uncover the identity of the infamous murderer.
I'm reading this book, Homicide Investigation by Lamone Snyder, and it says you look for patterns, so I'm looking for patterns.
No. You can't think of this case in normal police terms.
Why not?
You got 4 crime scenes: Solano, Vallejo, Berryessa, and here. Not a single usable print of the first 3 or in any of the letters.
Fincher's trademark precision brings the 1970s to life, immersing viewers in the paranoia and unease that gripped California during the killer's spree.
Her body's found the next morning in a parking lot, stabbed to death.
Its deliberate pacing and chilling atmosphere elevated above standard crime dramas. At the time, though, it struggled to find an audience before becoming a cult classic.
Last time I saw this face was July 4th, 1969. I am very sure that's the man who shot me.
What's your favorite underhyped flick? Let us know in the comments.
Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.